Hello! How are you guys doing today? I'm gonna upload this video on a Friday. So how are you doing this Friday? I'm at my office. This is the desk that I call my office in a corner of my house. But literally got the desk a couple days ago. Is it? No, about a week ago now. And it's just made working be a lot more pleasant now that I have a designated area to work from in the house. But I digress. That's not what we're talking about today. What we're talking about is on my phone, so I'm gonna need that. I want to talk to you guys about self-care and that moment when you hit burnout and you start to doubt everything that you're doing and you lose inspiration and the year is about to end and now you're questioning like what have you even done with your life and your goals. And for me it started to creep in a lot about 3 weeks ago now, I think. And I only realized this actually a couple days ago, that I think it's because I didn't take time to honor two major things that happened in my life. And that is I changed house and then I got a new job. And I just went about things like normal. And I didn't stop to be like, wait a second, these are two major life shifts. I'm so grateful for them. But they're also demanding of me in certain ways, and I hadn't stopped to be like, what does this actually mean for me? And so over the past week, no, actually it's more like 2 weeks now. I think more like 2 weeks. Right about the time when I started to really feel burnt out is when I was like, wait a second. What does my therapist always say whenever I like have a moment of like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what to do, and there's this crisis. Her first question is always, what do you need? And it's supposed to allow me or you, if you're going through this too, like a sense of self-doubt or burnout, but it's supposed to allow you a moment to pause and to actually pick out the things that will help you get out of this phase or feel a little bit better. Like actually stop and identify those things. Because a lot of times when we feel tired or sad or upset, then we just feel those things and stick to those things or just get back to work. But we don't take time to think, what do I need to reverse what's taking place? And so what I want to share are things that I've been doing that I've learned from friends, I've learned from my therapist. That's what we're getting into, self-care, okay? Whew. That's a long intro, but bear with me. I really hope this makes you feel, one, that you're not alone when you have those moments when you question everything. I can't even talk. If you knew how many times I've introed this video, if I'm being very honest at this moment. Hello, ladies and gents. Hello, ladies and gents. Hello, ladies and gents. Oh, coming at you from my new office.
A few moments later.
Do I like that shot? I don't know.
Day 4.
Okay, I think I want to zoom in a little bit more actually. Let's just get in a little bit closer. Okay. It's crazy just how self-doubt and burnout and stress can get to you. And if you don't stop and be like, wait a second, how do I get myself out of this? Then it just gets worse. Okay, so the tips are on my phone, and if you see me glancing, it's because I'm referencing what I've written down. The first thing is identify what's bugging you. If you're feeling a sense of discomfort, often what we'll do is just go about whatever our day was and just be like, yeah, whatever, I'll deal with it later, or you start to lash out at people, or you turn to unhealthy habits, whether it's drinking too much, eating too much, having too much sex, like just you go into a dark place. So identify what's bugging you. Is it that you've bitten off more than you can chew? Do you feel like you're not getting enough support? Do you feel anxious about something that's coming up, whether it's a new job or you're changing schools? Just be aware that this is where it stems from. And you can just put it to the side for now, not forever, because you have to go back and actually unpack those issues. But just understand where it's coming from. And that sense of understanding will just help you be kinder to yourself because you know what's going on, and also kinder to the people around you, because if you're not careful, that's how you start lashing out at everyone. Second thing that's really been helping me is to create healthy boundaries. Now for me, it was identifying what my work hours were, what time I like to work on this part of work, whether it's the TV show, whether it's the new website that's coming up very, 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 very soon, or other aspects of my life, whether it's motherhood, things like that. So I identified these pockets of time, and that, my friend, was one of the most daunting things to do, because I felt like I don't want to step on anyone's toes and I don't want to upset anyone, but it was the most important thing. So create boundaries. For you, it could be create boundaries within certain relationships. Not everything that's around you is there to support you and to bring you up. Even though they may mean well, it's not always the case. Third thing is find ways to blow off steam. Now, that could be calling a friend. Oh my goodness, first of all, thank God for friends. Like really, really good friends that you can trust and laugh and maybe even go for drinks with. And if your friends love you, which they better, okay? Because actually today someone was asking me, what do you do about toxic friends? And I was like, girl, you dump them. Dump and leave and never look back. Like, that is so 2017. Good friends, they're going to pull you out of any dark, daunting moment a little bit faster than if you were to just do it on your own. But if you're not into people, maybe you're just like, I don't really like people, or maybe you don't really have friends wherever you are in your life right now, then something like working out, although I can't tell you much about that because I don't work out. I don't work out. So, but I hear it's, great things are released when you work out. Another thing that I've been doing a lot lately is including essential oils in my day-to-day. Okay, so first things first, I have been using tea tree oil for a while now, for like a couple of years. And I know you guys heard me talking about tea tree oil in like about a month, maybe 2 months ago, and how I use it in my skincare routine because it helps with pimples and stuff. But I'd never tried out other essential oils. And it's something that actually my therapist has mentioned maybe 4 times, 5 times to me, and different ways to like either use it on your body, like certain areas with like what does she call it? Like a base oil, or something, or even in a room. And that's partly why I just really, really love my therapist, because I just think she's just so. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. This video, I want to talk to you about essential oils. Now, right now, what I have on is lavender in this diffuser. Man, I can't tell you what exactly it is, but I guess even studies have shown that essential oils, it sort of helps bring you out of a weird, anxious, stressful, or even depressed space. And it's not going to solve all your problems, but there's something about scent. 100% I'm more productive when I have an essential oil in the diffuser when I'm working. And I also don't know if it's a psychological thing. I don't think so, but I feel a lot more productive and I feel cleansed. And another thing I didn't say is that one of the things that's really been stressful recently is that a couple of people in my family have been unwell. Nothing serious, but essential oils have been really pivotal in like making sure that like nasal cavity is unblocked. Like, I don't know if you know this, but when it comes to kids, there's something here. It's called Carvol, and I'd never heard of it until recently when I had to put some of this around like chest area and bed area, and I used it with like my family as well. But it helps relieve blocked noses and helps with bronchitis too. And what the doctor was saying was that if you've even got something like eucalyptus essential oil, just have it in like as you're taking a bath, or run the shower and have it somewhere in a bowl, in a hot steaming bowl, and have you and your family, like if you have children especially, and you know your kids are not going to dunk their heads in a bowl of hot water and let the steam do its thing, then have it in a bath, running, and let that scent sort of help clear everything about your nasal cavity or your blocked nose. So I've been finding that essential oils are really coming through in so many ways, but I'm actually going to have an article that breaks down the different ways I've been using it on my website that's soon to come, actually very, very soon. And these are from Luscious Touch, because those guys have the hookups, and I trust them when it comes to natural, organic products, 100%. But in here I've got tea tree oil. Actually, let me tell you what I've got. Tea tree oil, peppermint. Peppermint is also really good if you've got a blocked nose and blocked cavity. It's also great if you've got aching muscles too, so you can pour a few drops in your bath. And that's actually, if you've been really tense or working a certain way, that's really great for your bath. But don't put it on at night when you're trying to relax, because it just really energizes you. And then there's eucalyptus, which I said it's really great for decongestion. Tea tree, it's really great and antiseptic. If you've got like even a mosquito bite or insect bite or a pimple, it really draws out impurities and dries out the pimple as well. And then there's lemon. It's so crisp. It's such a beautiful scent, and you can also use it for cleaning on surfaces too. There's lavender, which is what I've got here, which is what I use all the time, especially on the diffuser, and it just smells like a spa. It just smells amazing. And then we've got cedarwood, which is really great for skincare as well, so you can drop a few in like your moisturizer. But again, if you're afraid of how it's going to react to your skin, then just use very, very little. But it's got really great antiseptic properties too. And then we've got orange, which is another beautiful citrusy scent. I generally just like citrusy type scents, and it'll just make your mood a little bit better. I don't know, it just smells nice, guys, and your house just feels like you know what you're doing with your life, even if you don't. Okay, it's the end of the day, but I just realized I forgot to mention one really cool thing about the diffuser, and that is once you switch it on, you can actually play around with the lighting, just in case that's something else that you want to have complement the mood that you're in. So there's a setting that you can have it where it keeps changing color, but you can also keep it at a particular color. And the one I like best is this like aqua color. I don't know, to me it reminds me of the ocean. And so all you need to do is to put a little bit of water in here and some essential oils, like 3 drops or so, and you're good to go. And the great thing about this diffuser as well is that once the water is done, it just switches itself off. So you don't need to worry about like something sinister happening because you forgot to turn it off, which sometimes happens with me. And this is also from Luscious Touch. And in case anyone was wondering or wanted to take a closer look at the stash that I was talking about earlier, I've got peppermint, eucalyptus, which one is this? Orange, that's lavender. This one is lavender. The one back here is cedarwood and lemon. Oh, and an extra tea tree oil, because like I said, this one I use all the time. Yep. Next thing on my list is listening to podcasts. And the 3 that I would highly recommend at this point in time, the first one is Oprah's Masterclass. It's so good. There's people like Jay-Z, Alicia Keys, Shaquille O'Neal, and they're just sharing their story and their journey, so it's very inspiring. There's Couples Therapy by Casey and Candice, which is just really, really funny. And it's just really, really funny. And then the last one is Passing Through by Nneka. Yo, that is such a cool podcast. Next one is the idea of grounding, or having a gratitude list or a journal type thing. Now, grounding, if you've never heard of it, I actually was first told about this by Susan Wong, and it's when you literally go outside and you allow yourself and your feet to really touch, you allow yourself to touch nature, whether that's grass or soil or rocks or concrete, but allow your body to touch the ground. And it's because there's all this energy moving through the universe, and you're allowing yourself to release some of what's inside, that kind of tension or stress, but also you're picking up some of the energy that's really essentially just a life force. And if you're not really into that, if you're like, I don't really understand what you're talking about, Sharon, that's weird. But trust me, it works. I didn't think about it much, but whenever I put my feet on grass, there's just something about that. It's the same way when you come across like a huge, beautiful waterfall and you're just hit by the presence of God. You can't deny it. So trust me, grounding is great. But if not, you can also journal, and it's just a way for you to start visualizing what your dreams are and what you really want for yourself, or creating a gratitude list, or you can just pray. You know, stick to the good old prayer. Next is treat yourself. get a massage, go shopping, eat good food, which for me right now is KFC sticky wings. Ooh, yo, just treat yourself, because it's a way to remind yourself that it's gonna be okay and you are deserving and worthy of this beautiful, quick little treat. Don't get reckless about it, okay, and spend like every last coin shopping, and then now you're broke and then you're just even more stressed. Don't be reckless, but just treat yourself. Next is tidy up, because cluttered space, cluttered mind. Oh, I say this, and if I turn the camera to that corner, but it's just, I'm still in the process of organizing this house. But my desk, for instance, where I get a lot of work done, and that part is just it's an organized mess, if that even makes sense. But where you do most of your work, or you spend most of your time, try and make sure that it's clean. In fact, start by making your bed. There's literally no excuse as to why your bed should be undone. And there's actually studies that have shown making your bed leads to you being more productive later in the day. So, and there's people like Oprah Winfrey who make their own bed. So if Oprah makes her bed, you better just make yours too. Okay, my battery just cut out, which means I need to wrap this up. Like, I've been talking for way too long. Okay, so I was saying do something that makes you physically look better. And I know sometimes it can be seen as very, like, that's so insignificant. Who cares how you look? But when you look good, you start to feel good. When you dress good, you feel good. And that could be something as simple as taking a shower, oiling your scalp, you know, brushing your hair, or you can take it a step further and do your makeup or get your hair done. But these little acts will ultimately help you feel better about yourself in just like little ways. Because if we're taking time to look after ourselves mentally and taking time to do that spiritually, then why not also when it comes to presentation? Why not? Ooh, next, slow down on social media. The truth of the matter is, most of us are addicted to social media. And when you think, oh, let me just sit down and relax, what most people will do is reach for their phone and start like scrolling through Instagram or Twitter. But that's really not relaxing. And what you're doing is taking in a lot of people's energies, and that gets you wound up. And you're most likely to see something that will upset you, irritate you, confuse you. Yeah, social media. Just try to keep your phone away. But for me, for instance, what I do is that I have it on sleep mode on night mode rather, a little bit earlier than I used to. Before it used to be 9 p.m. Now I have it on sleep mode at 7 p.m. And it's just my way to cut off a lot of the noise that takes place, because you need to just take care of self. Next thing you want to do is tighten your sleep routine. This is your time to unwind. Like, for instance, you remember how I was saying like peppermint oil, you don't want to use it right before bed. Instead, use something like lavender essential oil, because that's really going to ease you into like this relaxed mode. Make sure that you've planned for the next day so that you don't feel anxious as you're going to sleep. But tighten up your sleep routine, because this is your way for your body to reboot. Next thing is read a book. It can be any book, it could be fiction. That's really making me feel like I just should be lying down and relaxing. Read a book, anything that just helps you escape, even if it's just for a moment, or it could even give you tips depending on what you're reading. Maybe it's a self-care, self-tip, self-help book. Last thing is create a to-do list, and that also helps you figure out what really is pending and what is just in your mind, and you've just created all these things that need to take place, and then you start to get panicky because it just feels like it's a lot. But putting it down on paper helps you understand what really is important, what needs to be done, what you can give to someone else to do, because maybe every once in a while we're all deserving of help, and that's what friends and family are for. So you can pass it on to someone, or maybe that's when you start to realize, wait, I've bitten more than I can chew, and I just need to drop certain things. But a to-do list helps you feel more organized, and it puts your mind at ease. And then you feel really good when you just take something off your list and you're like, yes, score. Like the way I'm gonna say filming this video is ticked off my list. Okay, that's it for today's video. I haven't done one of these like sit down and talk in a while, but but it's something I feel very passionately about, and I will be doing an article. Oh my gosh, first, I can't wait for you guys to see the new site and where it's going and everything. But I will be doing an article on thisis.com, which is now This Is Essential. And I'm going to talk about essential oils. Thank you, Luscious Touch, for my stash. And I hope that these tips came in handy and that you will be kinder to yourself because you are deserving. Okay? See you, love you, leave you.